What's going on, YouTube family? Welcome back to another video on my channel, Living Bullish with Colton. Today, I want to go ahead and break down a lesson on quarters theory. All right, if you're a new student into the markets, or if you've never really applied this to your trainings, to your market knowledge already, this is something that was one of the first things that I understood coming into this, into these markets, into this game. And it's something that I still use, 2.5 years down the road as even an extra confirmation towards everything else that I'm looking for in the markets, right, guys? You guys have to understand that when we step into this game, right, these numbers, right, numbers weren't created, right? Numbers weren't created, they were discovered, right? We discovered numbers. So honestly, when we're trading on these markets, it's all a game, it's all a pattern, it's all on a grid, right? So if you can understand the grid and understand the price and time, then reading the charts, running your analysis, you're just going to have, a little bit better understanding. And this ties into, pretty much everything that's on my channel when it comes to seeing the bigger picture, right? So I want to dive right into it. We're going to get into quarters theory today, something that can help you out with psychology levels. Quarter levels, whole levels are actually prices that banks and institutions like to play at as well. Because if you think about it, we used to, 5-10 years ago, the newest individual couldn't trade with $100, $50K. You needed $1 million, right? So when you went to your broker, people aren't going to buy at the price of 107.34, right? They wouldn't want to buy at a price of like 107 even, or 107.50 even, or 108. And if that doesn't make sense yet, I'm going to break it down a little bit more for you guys. So what I'm going to do is go ahead. I got my cat in the cut. He all up in here. But I'm going to go ahead and share my screen, and we are going to get into it, guys, because I really want to show you on these charts, right, what we want to be looking for. All right, I'm going to hide myself down here, and let's get to it. All right, I'm going to start on GBP USD, and I got some other things pulled up on the other charts. But first, again, guys, time and price. All right, quarters theory, I can go ahead and text out a little bit too for you guys here, right? So what we're diving into right here is called quarters theory, right? And this is going to help us with psychology, all right, natural support resistance, right? And so psychology, natural support and resistance, and just helping you with pip count, honestly, just helping you read the grid at the end of the day, right? Because all we got to do is read the grid. So, understanding these three things, if we go ahead and look at the price of GBP USD, right, we're going to look over here to the right. We see 1.2500, right? And you guys will see me not even worry about the pipette, the fifth decimal at the end. Then you got 2400, 2300, 2200, 2100. 2000, right? So technically the way that I'm speaking this, right, these are whole levels in the markets. So if we go ahead and look at this range right here, right, I'm going to go ahead and put a line right here at 1.1000, right? So this is, just price where it's at. Now, if price were to go up 1,000 pips, right, where would we go to? We would go to 1.2000. Right? So this is a 1,000 pip range that I just created, right? If I went ahead and grabbed my ruler, took it up there, you guys are going to see, right, 1,000 pips from 1.1000 to 1.2000, right? So these are major, and I'm not going to type this out because I don't want it to take too long, major whole levels, right? Major whole levels right there, and same here. Major whole levels. Right now, we're talking, you think of a quarter, right? A quarter is, anywhere in the world, right? 4 quarters make up a whole, right? Whether it's 4 quarters make up $1, or wherever, or, 1 + 1 = 2, uno plus uno equals dos, whatever language, whatever, you are in the world, quarters theory is gonna make sense to everything that you do, right? So check this out. If I were to take this 1,000 pip level and cut it in half, right, we would now have a major half level, which is going to be about 500 pips, right? Major half level. All right, right here at about 1.5000, right? So I'm just going to keep cutting this thing up. And, you know, not only are you guys going to be able to see, you know, the psychology, the natural support and resistance behind it, but it's going to help the newest individuals be able to read pips, because it really just helps you mark out your charts. Now, if I cut this in half, now both of these are worth 500 pips. If I were to cut them in half again, we are going to get our major quarter level points, right? 1.1750, and this is a major quarter level, right? Now, where would our major quarter level be between 1.5 thousand and 1.1 thousand, right? 1.12250, right? So you guys can make these on your charts as well, right? Major quarter level, right? So now I've literally broken down the market into pretty much 4 different 250 pip levels, right? We have a major whole level, 1.1 thousand, major quarter level, 1250, major half, 1500, major quarter level, 1750, major whole, 2000. Now, again, these are just majors. You guys can already see on the chart, right? We're going to have a whole level at 1.9 thousand, right? We're going to have a whole level at 1.8 thousand, whole level at 1.7. I missed it right there, but you guys, I hope you understand what's going on here, right? 16, 15, 14. So these are all 100 pips in between these major lines, right? So obviously, if we're dealing with any currencies, except the yen, we're going to be doing this by 4 decimals, right? So I'm going to give you guys a couple extra, couple extra in looks here. So now we're on the 4-hour on USD JPY. All right, so check this out. So I just went over this on GU, right? We have a major whole level at 100. If we were to go up 1,000 pips, right, where would we get to? We would get all the way up to 1.10, right? 110, right? 100, 110 is 1,000 pips. So that's why it's a major whole level to major whole level. Cut it in half, 105. Cut it in quarter, 102.5, right? So again, this is what we just did. Let's dive into here, right? As I go into here, you guys are going to see, look, major half level at 105. Then we got a half level here, right? The light blue is a half level, 105.50. 106 is a whole level. 106.50 is a half level. 107 is a whole level. 107.50 is not only a half level between 107 and 108, but it is also a major quarter level. So we're talking on bigger time frames. This price is going to be very, very important. Look how many times price hangs out in this major quarter level, right? And again, just like all my teachings, guys, this is just to train your eye, right? Just train your eye to see these things. Look how much the market hangs out in this major quarter level, right? Look how quickly it moved away from this major whole level, right? So, as you're going through here, guys, again, you only see the wholes and the halves. I could go ahead and put quarters on here as well, right? Between 110 and 109.50, what would we have? 109.75, right? I can make it a different color. Between 109 and 109.50, we would have 109.25, right? So you guys can go ahead and see, right, as I go ahead and dive deeper into these actually act as natural support and resistance areas, right? Especially when you go down to, maybe some smaller time frames. Let's go ahead and look at price action in here, right? So we're talking about this 100 pip range right here between 109 and 110. Price gets up to 109, rejects, breaks above a little bit, right? And then we get the move above. But see how, market comes up, reject off the quarter level, come back down, hang out at the half level, tanks back out, right? To where? Another half level, break and retest, right? So you guys can see that, again, these act as natural support and resistance areas as well, right? So that's all I really want you guys to see. And again, this isn't going to be just a single confirmation they have in the markets. I use this with pretty much everything that I trade, right? So let's go over, I think I have Euro USD pulled up, right? And I have these ones labeled. So check this out. right? We have a whole level at 1.114, quarter level at 1375, half level 1350, quarter level 1325, whole level 13, and it goes on and on and on. And you guys can see, right? Look what happens. Support at the quarter level, right? Resistance at the whole level, right? Resistance at the whole level, right? Look at this price action at the whole level. And you guys can see these little touches that it likes to do. Now, again, I'm not taking a trade just based on this confirmation, but I'm going to go ahead and show you guys examples, right, to where you could use these to, you know, get yourself just better entries pretty much anywhere, right? So let's check this out. And I'm actually doing a webinar later on with the squad, and I am going to break down the S&P market later for you guys. But, you know, it's just like this. And it was even in my last week's video, right, when we were talking about the playoff 3000. Right, so we're looking at, you know, a market like S&P, right? Where's our whole level? A major whole level is 3,000, right? What would be 100 pips or 100 points up from 3,000? 3,100, right? So this is a 100-point level, 100-point range for the S&P, right? What if we were to break it in half? 30.50. What if we break it into quarters? 30.75. Right? So again, just train your eyes to see this, and you're going to see that it's going to act as natural support and resistance. And again, whenever you're taking trades, right, this is the trade that, you know, I had showed on last week's video, right? We had this, you know, accumulation going on. We had the spike low, and look how this market comes back down and tests perfectly off at 3,000, right? Look how this market breaks above the half level of 30.50, then uses it as a newfound support. Look how it uses 30.75 as a resistance, breaks above it, finds resistance at 31, falls back down to 30.75, and then takes off, right? So, you know, again, you guys can use these quarter levels, like, right, quarters theory, in pretty much any markets that you trade, right? If we're talking gold, I'm just going to go ahead and give you guys a bunch of examples, so hopefully it answers any question that you may have when it comes to, you know, these charts. What is a whole level? 1,800, right? What's 100 pips below 1,800? 1,790, right? 100 pips. Boom, right? 100 pips. So again, you guys are going to see, look at all this price action. It's hanging out at the half level right here. 1,795, right? Look at this rejection, 1,795, right? Look up here, you know, 1815 was a pretty good resistance area. So a lot of the times, and again, I just showed you a lot on the technical side. Let me go ahead and just walk through a little bit more psychology, right? When the big players go to place a sell on golds, they're not going to place a sell at 1812. They're not going to place a sell at 1811.29, right? They're going to want to place sells at major levels where they could just write 1815, boom, right? 1810, boom, right? 1820, boom, right? So they're going to literally throw their sell orders right here at 1815, right? They're going to get their buy orders here at 1795, right? That's golds. Same works for, you know, indexes, guys. Let's pull her back. All right, let me go ahead and delete some of this off, right? Let me just go ahead and show you guys, you know, the most, you know, price action has been pretty sideways over the last 2 weeks or so with this, but either way, let me go ahead and just show you guys, right? 96, right? What happens on 96? Support. 97, right? We see a lot of price action at 97, 98, right? 99. Right? Look at this price action over here, right? Natural support and resistance. Market closes all the way down, right? That's the dollar index, even with BTC. This is major when it comes, and it's crazy because, again, I dove into the markets for Forex, right? Little did I know that these concepts were going to apply to every chart I would do, right? 9,800 is a whole level. 9,700 could be a whole level, right? 9,500 is one of those major half levels, right? And you guys can see the rejection, right? Look at 8,800, right? Look at 9,000. Natural support and resistance for you guys to go ahead and make. A lot of the time, I only take trades at, I mean, most of the time, I'm not taking a trade unless it's by a 25, right? I'm either buying off, here, I'll give you another example, right? If we're looking at USD CAD, right, and there was an example of a sell position, right? So check this out. So markets make this pool of money here, right? So right now, price is at 35.90. What's the closest quarter level price to 35.90? 3,600. It's only 10 pips down from 3,600, right? Look at 36.25, guys. What if I said, hey, I want to sell USD CAD when it pops above these highs, but I only want to do it on a quarter level, right? 36.25, that's what you wait for, right? You don't want to, or I would have waited for 36.50, right? Or I would have waited for 36.75, right? So pretty much, guys, that's everything, again, even with US 30, you know what I mean? You guys can already see it, 25,800, 2,600, right? 26.50. So use this to your advantage. And this is just giving you guys, the understanding of time and price, right? This is just a grid at the end of the day that, we are playing off of. Let me go back down to EU, right? And you could even measure these out for you guys, be able to just use this as an extra confirmation. But other than that, this is kind of an updated quarters theory video. I do have an old one, but I only went over one pair and it was GBP USD. So I didn't know if you guys were going to be able to relate how that would work with yen pairs, or how it would work with indices, or how it would work with commodities, futures, indexes, whatever it may be that you're trading, right? But use this to your advantage. Go look up, right? Like you can, I'm not talking crazy numerology, right? But you can go look up, right? Quarters theory, right? You can go, look up the significance, right? Let's type in Nikola Tesla 3, 6, and 9, right? And you guys could get super deep into this. You might even have already been exposed to a lot of this. I'm actually, it's funny, I'm actually getting a 369 tattoo soon with the key, but I actually have a Fibonacci here on my arm because it's divine proportion, guys. These are elements that just work in nature, not only these charts, right, but just nature in general. And that's what we're trying to do when we take on, these markets. It's just understanding as much as we can behind it. So if you don't know a lot, about the numbers 3, 6, and 9, how important they are in the universe. And again, how to now take those concepts and apply it to the charts when it comes to quarters theory. I think it could really help a lot of individuals, maybe cut down where they enter to the markets, maybe help them structure their charts a little bit more, maybe help them be able to read their pips, right? These are literally 25 pips in between each of these levels. So even for newest traders, they could come on here and make natural support and resistance levels and have them go ahead and start thinking 1.1300, 1.1325, 1.1350, 1.1375, right? So I appreciate you guys. I hope this helps out. If you haven't already, and if you like this video, go ahead, hit that like button. Go ahead and shoot me a subscribe as well. We are on the road to 1,000 subscribers. And I'm super excited. Like I said, I will be dropping a market overview from this past week on my channel, probably tomorrow on Sunday, because I'm going to do that recording tonight. But much love. Appreciate you guys. Let's continue to live bullish. Markets have been crazy this summer. You're going to see a lot of content going into next week, actually meeting up with the squad for the first time since COVID kind of hit the States over here. I was actually in New York at the time that COVID came, really became an issue in the middle of March. I've pretty much been down here in Florida, even though Florida doesn't really give a care about a lot of things. You know, I've taken my precautions, and whole squad's meeting up in Orlando, and I'm excited for it. So much love, guys. I'll see you guys on the next video. Let's continue to run it up and study hard, guys.